Oh, sheet, says the Montreal Canadiens. Our friend, hockey insider at thedailyfaceoff.com. Frank Seravalli joining us now. Welcome back to the show, Frank. Thanks a lot for doing this.
My pleasure, Tim. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. This offer sheet, a mess, great fodder, or both?
Both. And total savagery from the Carolina Hurricanes. They did not miss a single detail from getting the exact quote that Mark Bergevin put out when they gave Sebastian Aho the offer sheet a couple years back, to the $20 signing bonus, which represents Aho's jersey number. They've played this so well, and I got to tell you, I love it. This is an NBA transaction, and it's got hockey fans talking about hockey in the last weekend of August. So it's given us great fodder, and I don't see any part of which this is a mess other than the fact that the Montreal Canadiens now need to figure out what to do, and that's sort of what's on their hands at the moment. But you know, I would have to think at this point that the only thing that we've learned from this so far, Tim, is that if you go into business with Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon, make sure you keep everything on the up and up.
That is, yes. Tom Dundon has a memory. Let it be known, Tom Dundon has a memory, and he will bring it back to you. Okay, this is why I say it's a mess. One, because this is a really tough decision for the Montreal Canadiens, and two, I think that the Canes vastly overpaid for Jesperi Kotkaniemi for 1 year, though they may be able to fix it down the road. Let's start with the first one, the Montreal Canadiens. What are you hearing that they're going to do?
Look, they're still in the mode of deciding that at the moment. And it's funny that sometimes you get a sense right off the hop of what's going to happen. You know, I think back to the Shea Weber one that really took so long to play out. And then I think back to the Aho one, that sort of gut feel that we had right away. It was like, wait, that's all the Canadiens offered? That's an easy match. You just made Don Waddell's life so much easier that summer by getting that contract done in short order, a deal that was totally palatable. And in this case, my initial gut reaction would be one that the Montreal Canadiens wouldn't match. I think the conversations around the Habs and Jesperi Kotkaniemi on a new deal were somewhere in the $2 to $2.25 million range for this upcoming season. And so it's way different than the $6.1 million offer. And that brings us to point number two. And the second part of your question, and I think that the thing here is, it makes sense to overpay. You have to get the player to sign the offer sheet. If not, it doesn't matter. And so it makes sense to overpay for 1 year and get the player under team control. Find out what Jesperi Kotkaniemi is. And I think that's the question that the Montreal Canadiens are asking themselves at this point. Here was this 18-year-old number 3 overall pick that hopped into your lineup and scored 34 points in year 1. And then you're not really sure, as his offense dipped off, had to go back to the AHL for a bit in year 2, as you see. And then in year 3, everyone's numbers were down for the Habs. I mean, think about a guy like Philip Deneau. He leaves the Habs and goes to LA and says, I've got so much more that I can give on the score sheet. So I think you put him in a high-powered Canes offense, you wind him up and you let him go. And I think if you're the Canadiens, you say, well, for a number 3 overall pick that we're not really sure, we get the cap space back. And then in addition to that, we get a number 1 and number 3 pick. Might make sense for both sides.
If Jesperi Kotkaniemi plays at the same level, like, could he see himself on the outside looking in because of the next qualifying offer would have to be at 6.1?
I know that's what everyone seems to be afraid of, is that you have to qualify him at 6'1", but there's been a number of players over the years, Tim, that end up not performing quite up to that level. And then basically what happens is, knowing that, yes, you could walk as a free agent and force that team's hand, there'd probably be a little bit of loyalty there in that sense, having just paid him $6.1 million to get him, if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, that they then negotiate a new deal that's under that figure, because both team and player recognize that he didn't hit that bar. And so if you're the Canes, that's sort of the scenario or the risk that you're willing to take at this point in order to play a little bit of a revenge game.
Outside of what you're hearing from Montreal, what do you think they should do? I mean, they're in a tough cap situation. They have to pay him. Then there's others that they have to pay down the road. I mean, this is the true meaning of an offer sheet, where you put a team in a predicament that you know that they have to make some real tough choices.
Well, and that's really why teams don't make offer sheets, right, is because and that's always the handshake, the gentleman's agreement that exists. If you're going to make an offer sheet and try and poach one of my players, just know that I'm coming for you at some point. That's what I'm sure the message was from the Carolina Hurricanes here. And the design is purposely to make life difficult. I mean, think back to the one with Shea Weber and the Philadelphia Flyers. I remember getting that in the middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, that came in, and it was $114 million. Like, just an unbelievable deal that, really pushed the Nashville Predators. And in this case, it's pushing the Habs in a much different direction, certainly one that they wouldn't have been willing to go. And, I think they have to take a step back and look at this and say, we might have to take the 2 picks and wave goodbye to Jesperi Kotkaniemi here, given all that's gone on. It just doesn't fit their salary cap scheme moving forward, and not with all those guys that you have to pay, and not with the uncertainty of exactly what Kotkaniemi is at this point.
Crazy. Is the NHL or PA worried about the pettiness or the optics of the pettiness? I mean, let's be honest. Aho's offer sheet was the first one in 7 years, and it was met with the vengeance that you could almost taste from the Carolina Hurricanes. Is that something the PA or the NHL is worried about? I mean, this was collectively bargained. It was supposed to be out there for GMs to be able to use and to give players a fair shake at maybe moving teams in the middle of their deals.
I don't think so. First off, if you're going to do it, take the bat off your shoulder and swing big. And that's what the Canes did. And then the second part is, this is supposed to be fun. This is late August that we're talking about this. In the hockey summer, the hockey offseason, make it juicy, make a splash. I mean, every single detail, as we talked about right off the hop, it was so well done, so savage. I give nothing but a hat tip to the Carolina Hurricanes, not just to their owner, who, of course, needs to pony up to pay for this, but also the brains behind their social media team to convince Don Waddell and Tom Dundon to play along here. I mean, that's not easy to do in a buttoned-up NHL. And to me, I'm all for it. I wish we could have this play out all the time. I think it would make the NHL so much more interesting to cover. It would bring in fans. I think that's what you've seen in the NBA. See all these transactions that take place in their offseason and how crazy and wild it is. That's really jacked up the value of the NBA to TV rights holders, to everyone down the line. They've all lined their pockets with how juicy the NBA offseason is, and I wish the NHL could take a little bit of a lesson from that.
All right, less than 60 seconds here, and I know there's layers to this onion, but I saw Frank Seravalli, at Frank_Seravalli on Twitter, tweet out about Denmark, Latvia, and Slovakia getting the final 3 qualifying spots for Beijing 2022. We're less than 6 months away. Are the NHL teams going?
I still believe they're going, Tim, and I know that this has gone on forever. The latest thing has been COVID-19 insurance. What if a player comes down with COVID and has any sort of long-term effect on both his team schedule and also his personal health? The IHF ponied up to have NHL players play in these qualifying tournaments that just wrapped up over the weekend. I think if they can figure out that last hurdle on insurance, get some details from the organizing and Olympic committees about what exactly life is going to be like inside the bubble in Beijing, then I think they'll sign off. Look, the NHL put the schedule out that they have the NHL players going to Beijing. They have the break already in there. Yes, they can pivot, but this is what NHL players have wanted for a long time and they've stood for. I'd be still pretty surprised at this point if the NHL players aren't going.
A little bit of a different scenario, though. China, middle of a pandemic. It is absolutely insane, but we are here for it all, as we were with the offer sheet. Frank, thanks for doing this with us. Really appreciate you.
Take care, Tim.
There is Frank Seravalli, and again, follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of insight on the game.